I went on a 10-day trip to Ireland, and the first couple days were in Dublin. Now, you absolutely have to get out of Dublin if you go to Ireland. You cannot just go to Ireland and go to Dublin. But since most flights go into Dublin, you're probably going to spend some time there. So let's go over my first 2 days in Ireland. First, I did a red eye. So I did my best to sleep on the plane. I flew JetBlue. It was good. It was nice. And I landed in Dublin around 9 a.m. I had, of course, never been to Dublin before. The interesting thing was we got off the plane onto the runway and they had a bus pick us up and take us to customs. We all got on a bus and went to customs. I'd never done that at an airport before, but very interesting. So I went through customs, got my bags. Everything was so smooth, easy peasy. I had also looked up how I was going to get into the city. They do have good public transportation, but not from the airport, which is a little bit of a disappointment. So I did book a ticket on a bus. I think I would have saved a couple euros if I had booked it online, but I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing, so I waited till I was there. And I spent about 11 euros to take the bus into the city. It dropped me off near St. Stephen's Green, and my hotel was also near St. Stephen's Green, but it still took me about 10 minutes to lug my suitcase over to the hotel. Went to the hotel, I said, "Hi, can I check in early?" And they said, "If you want to pay for it, you can pay at this hotel to check in early," which I'm sure some people do that. I did not. I'm trying to save a buck. I'm trying to save some money. You can watch this video right here if you want to see the hotel. I thought it was a great hotel. It was the only place I stayed in Ireland that had air conditioning. So I highly recommend. It was also a great location in Dublin. And it wasn't too expensive. So the people at the hotel were super nice. They took my luggage, and then I was trying to make a free tour that I had booked. Those free tours where you book them for free and then you give them a tip at the end. That's what I booked. And honestly, it was really great that I booked that because I ended up not making it. I was hauling over to where you were supposed to meet, and it was 5 minutes late, and I'm like, where are they? Are they down the road a little bit, or where? I'm looking. And anyway, I didn't find them. So at least I didn't lose out on any money with that. I went and I saw the Malone statue. There's also a sign nearby that says, "Welcome to Dublin." I'm hungry. So I had seen this place online called the Loose Cannon Cheese and Wine Bar, and they're already there, people drinking some wine and cheese, whatever. But I'm like, I just want a toasty. That's what they call the grilled cheeses over in Ireland, is a toasty. I love that. I love a little toasty. So I got a cheese and ham toasty, and honestly, the guy was kind of, "That's it? No wine? No." It's also nice to have a comfort food when you're brand new in a city. Yes, this toasty. So then I'm like, what do I do? And I was like, I actually really want to get out of my airplane clothes. So I went back to the hotel and I said, "Hey, I actually would really love to get my suitcase out and change clothes. Is there a bathroom here?" And actually, there was a really nice bathroom, so that was great. I changed my clothes. I felt like a new person. And so then I went to Trinity College. I had booked the Book of Kells experience for that afternoon for after my walking tour, but hey, that got canceled, or I didn't make it. So I went and I walked around Trinity College, and then it was time for me to go to the Book of Kells experience. If you want to see more about that, you can go to this video right here. I did think that experience was cool and all. I don't think it's for everyone though. It is one of the top experiences to do in Dublin, but again, I don't think everyone will love it. I liked it, wouldn't do it again, but it was good to learn about. So then after that, I did book another free walking tour. I think the free walking tours are a great way to see the city. It's usually someone who has a lot of recommendations and stuff. So I did that. She gave us all recommendations for food. There were some people who were like, "I want to eat this and I want to eat that." And I'm like writing down their recommendations that she's giving to them. Like, "Hey, I'm staying in this area. Where should I eat around there?" And she was like, "The Hairy Lemon." Anyway, she told me to get the Dublin Coddle, which I did. It looks really ugly, but it was pretty good. I went back to my hotel. It was time to check in. It was like 5 o'clock. I took a shower. I love the hotel. Nice, everything, air conditioning. And at this point, being that it's my first place I'm staying, I didn't think yet there's not going to be air conditioning in other places. I was just taking it all for granted at the time because my next places did not have air conditioning. I actually had a friend come and hang out with me in Dublin. They arrived and then we went to the Hairy Lemon. My friend was like, "Oh, this is a pub." My friend is from Ireland, and I was like, of course I'm going to a pub in Ireland, right? Where else do you eat in Ireland? There's no other places, right? No, there definitely are other places, but anyway, that's where I tried the Dublin Coddle. I did think it was good. The Hairy Lemon is a pretty busy place, and a lot of the places are not just for food. There's a stand here if you're waiting to get food, and you can have a table for food, and then there's tables for just drinks and listening to music. Back to the hotel, everything was great. Woke up the next morning, did sleep till maybe 10 a.m. Originally, my second day, I was gonna go to Howth, or the Visco bathing spot, so over to the coast near Dublin, but it was just cloudy, and I was like, looking back, I probably should have gone. I should have gone, but I had a good time. We went to St. Stephen's Green, which is a park, and then there's also a shopping center nearby that looks really pretty on the inside. There was also a famine museum and that I just peeked in. So we walked around St. Stephen's Green. That is literally the central park of Dublin. So cute and nice. It is a lot smaller than Central Park. And we went to the Disney store. I was like, there's a Disney store in Dublin. I gotta see it. And then there are some national museums in that area. And so those are free. So we were like, let's just pop in, it's free. So we did a couple of those, one art museum and one like natural museum, I think. With that, we decided to walk along the river, and we're kind of running out of things to do, sort of. It was like, there was this one museum the tour guide the day before had told me about. It was the Dublin Museum, and it's about the Vikings. And I was like, we could do that, but we also already did some museums, and I'm kind of like tired of museums today, and that one you do have to pay for. So I was like, I don't know. So I was like, why don't we just sit in a park and relax? So we just sat in a park and catched up, me and my friend, and then we did dinner at one of the other places that the tour guide had recommended, because there was one person who was like, where can I get a spice bag? And I'm like, spice bag, let's write that down, spice bag. And it was a place right nearby this park that we're hanging out in, so spice bag. And my friend, he was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get a 3-in-1. You're gonna see what a 3-in-1 is. I'm like, yeah, there's 3-in-1 or 4-in-1. I'm like, I don't know anything, but a 3-in-1 is rice, curry, french fries, chips in Ireland. A 4-in-1 has meat. I'm not sure if it's just chicken, or I'm not sure what kind of meat, but maybe there's options, I don't know. My friend just got the 3-in-1. I kind of wished I'd gotten the 3-in-1 because unfortunately I have braces right now. And I got the spice bag. And the chicken was very crispy. It was a little tough to eat with my braces. So I was kind of like, one looks good. So we did have to get one on another day. After that, we just headed back to the hotel, hung out. So that was day 1 and 2 in Ireland, my time in Dublin. The following morning when I checked out, the people at the front desk were very nice, and they called a taxi for me. I think that cost about $50 to get back to the airport, because from the airport, I was renting a car to drive for the rest of my time in Ireland.